Hi everyone, this is Mark Shanker, self-taught artist, and today I'm going to show you how I took some drawings from 40 years ago and finally, after thinking about it for a long time, figured out how to actually make them on a different kind of paper and very large. So these drawings, which I did 40 years ago, I did very small, and I did them with just regular ballpoint pen. And I didn't actually start with any idea. I just started using the pen and left some spaces and drew around the spaces and got different shapes. And I always loved these drawings for the delicacy that I was able to get and the light from the ballpoint pen. So it was really hard to figure, how am I going to take these drawings and do them again without using the same medium. So recently I went to the art supply store and I asked them if I have a black piece of paper, how can I, that is absorbent, how can I get a very, very thin line that is white on a black piece of paper? And fortunately, I found someone that knew the supplies, and he turned me on to these, I guess they're acrylics in a pen, and it's called Uni Posca. And they're like magic markers, except that they're actually actually paint. So you can make a very nice white line that isn't, this is mi-tinte or mi-tinte caisson paper, which is made for pastel. So it's absorbent, but as you can see, you can draw on this and the white paint stays right on the surface. So I really needed that for this drawing. However, I found that the white paint line was too regular and too thick. So I went back and got a black magic marker and went around and reduced the thickness of the white line so that it would radiate. Instead of being flat, just one surface, it would radiate a little light. My drawing also has very fine gradations of ballpoint pen. The way I got that was I took a white pencil, crayon, it's a wax crayon pencil, and did basically the same lines and that I did on the original drawing with white wax pencil. But I didn't get enough texture. I really felt like the light was still not, how should I say, ambient enough. So I took black pastel and drew over the whole thing in different directions to create another sense of light and darkness. I even drew over the white so that the white line would radiate back and forth and wouldn't be flat. So I felt I was pretty successful with this picture. I decided that I would try something different the next time. So I found another drawing of mine which I like very much, sort of a flag-like shape. And in this case, I took a canson paper, and part of it I applied regular gel gloss, medium, so that I sealed the part where I was going to actually do the lines. So the line actually was sharper and thinner than if I had used the first paper without the gloss, because obviously it wasn't being absorbed at all. And then, of course, the problem with that is that it makes a wavy surface, but in this case, since it's sort of like a flag, I decided that that doesn't really matter. But what it did was it created the part with the gloss and the part without it. So it's a sort of a different, completely different feeling to the paper. And so I used the same pencil and I used the same charcoal, but around the shape, I used pastel in order to give the glossy part some emphasis and some texture. And so I did that one. And I decided to try again with another old drawing that I did in the 80s, early 80s. So this one was very much in the same sort of ilk as the first one, but it's that line that I wanted to get. I felt like the line is sort of a musical melody. And so once again, I did the line. I went over it in places with a magic marker. I went over that with some light pencil, and then with the pastel. But then it still didn't pop. The line, it didn't make an emphasis. So I went back with the paint stick, or whatever you want to call it, and I emphasized little spots and points along the line to give it a little textures and to bring out the quality of the form. So this is an ongoing experiment. I hope to do it with India ink. Instead of starting with a black piece of paper, start with a white piece of paper and work with India ink. Just paint the whole page with India ink and go to work that way. Or with, sometimes I use black flash paint, has a matte, but it seals everything. So there are different ways to approach the same subject, same process, and I'll keep you in touch how it works out. So this is Mark Shanker, MarcShanker, @ markshanker.com. Thank you for watching.